Expanding your business into Canada. When you are looking to advance your business into Canada, there are numerous legal, financial, and tax considerations that must be accounted for to position your Canadian commercial venture for success. Among the legal considerations that are paramount to this process is determining the appropriate legal arrangement through which your existing commercial enterprise will carry on business in Canada. If the Canadian business is not undertaken from outside of Canada, some of the most prominent business arrangements in Canada are corporations, limited partnerships, trusts, co-ownerships, joint ventures, and unlimited liability companies. The determination of the appropriate business structure will rely upon specific traits and commercial objectives of the principal non-Canadian parties, the nature of the commercial activity to be undertaken in Canada, the method of financing, income tax ramifications, and the potential liabilities related to those commercial activities. A top-level assessment begins with a determination as to whether the business to be carried out in Canada should be conducted directly in Canada as the branch of its principal business from one's home country, or one should create a separate Canadian entity to carry on the business. This determination will be influenced by a number of critical considerations, including but not limited to the treatment of Canadian business income for tax purposes in one's home country, the advisability of isolating the assets of the principal business from claims arising out of the business undertaken in Canada, whether one or more parties will own the Canadian commercial enterprise, potential availability of federal, provincial, and municipal government grant and incentive programs, and Canadian tax considerations. If the Canadian business is to be undertaken from one's home country, or a country other than Canada, for example, using one's business entity in the United States of America, the Canadian branch operation must nevertheless be registered in each of the provincial and territorial jurisdictions within which it carries on business, together with complying with specific laws, statutes, and regulations of each jurisdiction, which can be very nuanced and demand distinctive reporting and operational procedures. Conversely, if a new business entity is established in Canada, through which the Canadian business operations are to be undertaken, the appropriate commercial structure needs to be determined, structured to optimize the legal, financial, and tax outcomes that are possible with the particular business entity's structure, and thereafter structuring the entity of the Canadian business to effectuate compliance with the specific laws, statutes, and regulations in each jurisdiction that it operates, together with the specific reporting and operational procedures that it must comply with. Determining the appropriate legal structure for the Canadian business entity will be dependent upon a range of commercial specifics and business objectives, such that the appropriate structure might be that of a corporation, limited partnership, trust, co-ownership, joint venture, or unlimited liability company. Yet such a determination should flow out of the specifics of the Canadian business operations, as opposed to attempting to force one's business into a specific legal structure, given that the objective is to optimize the results and profitability that might be derived from one's expansion into Canada, as opposed to restricting one's business by forcing it into a constrained business entity. Making the appropriate decision for your business expansion into Canada therefore demands early engagement and coordination with knowledgeable Canadian legal counsel, such that you might be taking the optimal steps to realize the best results and profitability from your Canadian venture, as opposed to being seriously constrained by inadequate preparation and structuring. And it is for that very reason that you should be highly cautious about implementing structures and legal arrangements without understanding how they will specifically impact your business and affect the profitability of your Canadian venture, especially where there might be legal arrangements that might prove more effective, given the unique aspects of your own business and internal ownership. And that is why we are strong proponents of high-level discussions in advance of making any definitive determination, such that the appropriate decisions are made for the long-term success of your Canadian business enterprise and the profitability that might be realized therefrom. We welcome you to schedule a free consultation with our law firm to learn how a knowledgeable and experienced corporate lawyer might best facilitate your business entry into Canada. Thank you.